Hey guys, it's Paul Jang. Uh, this video is going to be on some hidden truths with the land investing business model that most people won't tell you about that I'm going to share with you. I have a pretty inside, view on things and how other people um, sell land. So here are my thoughts on it. So instead of spending a lot of money on courses, I would say buy a piece of land and try selling it yourself. It's a really good way to learn. If you really know nothing, try to get an inexpensive course and leverage. Like in my course, like I'll give people feedback and stuff, but there's Facebook groups. I'd say the biggest one is RE Tipster. But the hidden things that aren't told in land investing is that even though it's a business, it is more investing than business. What I mean by that is when you're investing, it's not like um, it it's capital intensive. So like you're making a financial investment on a piece of property that you're getting inexpensively. So the way I see it is um, like your some of your expenses besides some of your business LLC or phone number whatever is how you're going to acquire the property. You can go to tax auctions and just bid through tax details, but inevitably most of the courses that go about land investing are going to push for mailers, direct mailers. Like my course pushes for that too, just because it's the easiest way to get going. I would not say it's the cheapest way to get going. Some of the other stuff are like text marketing campaigns with like using launch control, but inevitably, it is costly to try to acquire these lands the way that the land courses are, telling you to pursue it. And then once you get that land, inevitably you're gonna have to pay for it. So there's two methods to this. One is you don't pay for it, at least right then, and you put it under contract over a period of time. You can do a longer extension contract or do an option agreement, but you're just kind of biding time till you sell it. So like land.com, they're pretty loose with that kind of stuff. So you could basically post the properties and try to sell it. But uh, you know if you use a website like Brokerless where you're trying to get on the MLS, unless you have like a specific agreement, so that these are like flat fee MLSs, unless you have like an agreement that you can market with it, and they're okay with that, you know, inevitably, you're gonna do contracts and have some kind of clause that you can market it and try to sell it before you get to a place that the owner feels like, you know, you're still gonna follow through, right? So there's a lot of maintenance with that, and you're functioning kind of more as a realtor than you are, a buyer and seller. The other option is to actually pay for it, and in those scenarios, you need cash on hand or access to capital. So we've put in our own cash to purchase properties, and we've also used debt to purchase properties. We use lines of credit and did things like bank transfers and this and that to um, plastic. We use different things and leverage debt to buy property because we were buying things inexpensively, and we knew that at some point it would sell for a higher amount than what we bought it for. Um, Otherwise, you're using partners, and if you're using partners, most partners want the cash pretty quickly instead of with terms, and so it limits your ability to sell it. So, kind of same thing with if you put it under contract for a longer period of time, inevitably you're going to want cash for it to pay off the property. If you had the cash on hand, you would have just paid for it and done it on terms, right? And sold it on terms. So, it especially in the beginning when you don't have any other cash on hand, like if you get to a point where you stick on it with land, you'll get enough deals with owner financing that it'll pay for new acquisitions and new in your marketing and all of that. But until that point, it's kind of just capital intensive. You're putting this in to get a return that eventually you can use it to quit your job. But these are some of the things that you need to think about. And so the risk factor, I would say, is pretty minimal in that if you operate like this, the way that these courses are talking about things is, you're buying property at 25 cents, to 50 cents on the dollar. And if you pay, let's say it's a $20,000 lot and you buy it for 5,000 and you spent $2,000 for marketing and mailers and stuff like that. So you're in 7,000, you made 13 grand, right? And it's worth your time, doing that, waiting for that return and whatnot. But you need multiple, like, let me just show you. So this is, I made another video. I'm trying to do these in bulk. It was like the holiday season and I just kind of stopped and got kind of lazy. But yeah, these are properties that we sold. So if we bought these at some with partners, mostly like just on our own. But if we bought this at 25 cents to 50 cents on the dollar, that's not $500. That's not $1,000. We started with property that we're buying things at 100, 200, $300, but inevitably, this $12,000 lot, I think we paid 3,000 for it, right? But for I don't know where you're at financially, but $3,000 might be a tremendous amount for you. I actually think this one we actually used a partner for. Let me show you one. Oh yeah, like this one. Like we paid for this. Um, I think I have it on the MLS for like 55,000. So like 40. We paid 20,000 for this, but we paid 20,000 cash for this property, right? And that might be a tremendous amount for some people, for other people, not as much. But, how long does something take to sell? Like most stuff gets sold within a couple months, I'd say 3 to 9 months. Um, Sometimes we've sold them very quickly, but, this one we bought in 2021. This one we bought in 2021. I know at some point it's going to sell, right? A lot of things just eventually we um, pull it off I mean, everything eventually sells. It's just a matter of when, right? So this one we're pulling a little bit longer than a year. I actually think we like Ricardo Laroca. We bought two properties. Um, oh, right here. We bought Socorro County, and this one is in New Mexico. Yeah, we bought this relatively close to one another. I think we sold it and put it back on the market, and then we're still kind of holding on to it. But everything eventually sells. But if you need that cash on like pretty quickly, it can be discouraging if you only have one lot. So, but if you have a lot of these lots, then like eventually something would hit, something will sell, and you just keep it moving, just keep on picking up property, keep redoing it. We've kind of gone to bigger lots because we recognize that it takes just as much time selling a bigger lot than a smaller lot. But I know other people that are picking up lots for 1,000, selling it for four, and just doing that over and over again. And for the same amount of cash, you could get 30 listings, right? So like 30 different properties. And what you'll find is you'll find a comfort on what price point you like, what counties you like. I mean, if you look at like our stuff, we have stuff in New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arizona, North Carolina right now, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia. Um, we had a lot of property in Texas that we sold some time ago, but it's a bit more capital intensive than you think. It's I would say my wife was able to quit her job around 3 years of doing this. And then, I quit my job like 2018. So like 5 years into this. And I'm now 6 months done with my job as a teacher. And, we're going into like other things. But it was a 3 to 5 year process for both my wife and I to quit our jobs using, our land business. But it's it's a little bit longer than this fast, quick get rich quick fast. This stuff is like paying our bills plus a little, and we have opportunities to like go into other real estate investments through this. But I wouldn't think of it as like, oh, became a millionaire or anything like that. It's more systematically. I think what this does is it gives you the freedom to do other things with your lives. And I know there's other land investors that have gotten to, you know, the six figures, the $1 million, and all that. But I'd say most people, they're kind of systematically doing it one piece at a time, and just kind of working through it slowly, plugging away, and kind of building up that business, building up an inventory where they're selling different things, their marketing's getting better, um, and um, I it's an investment. It's an investment with your capital, and with your time. It's like in the beginning, it's a little bit time intensive, just figuring things out, but eventually, like, this business model is kind of set up so that you don't have to spend a lot of time. I kind of think if you like to just spend a lot of your time and uh you know I think it's better to just get like a sales position of some sort, where you're just grinding it, nose on the ground, and start building staff team members or something like that. A different business model. This business model I feel like is really good for those that have a job, want to systematically, build it. If you have shorter cash influxes, you're willing to kind of plug away at it, start picking up inventory, and just start selling things, through Craigslist, Facebook, and you kind of upgrade to other marketing platforms. But it's just a slower process. But when you buy property at 25 cents, 50 cents on the dollar, you have an asset that's not going to go away. Like, I've taken courses, and for $5,000, I think I saw a YouTube comment of like a land guy that was selling his stuff for like 45,000 or 5,000. But um just I just think, like, I get like your knowledge is an asset and all that, but with land, you have a real, like, tangible asset that you own. And so I think that's a really good hedge against inflation. I think it's a really good hedge for future, and it gives you less liquidity, but it allows you to know that eventually you could turn it into passive income, or as a cash flip. If you get a cash flip, you get a nice influx of cash. If it's for owner financing or for rent, you're building passive income streams that you could tap into um, for years, if not longer, if you're doing more rental stuff. I was just talking to a guy who did was working on more commercial lots, and he was renting those out to different commercial properties and getting rent for it. And it was just passive income indefinitely. Just there's multiple avenues, I think, with land that people don't realize, and a lot of the skills that you get with investing in land, it gets transferred over to developing land, and then also real estate investment in general. So a lot of the principles, I think, intertwine with one another. So that's land.com, and some of the, I guess, hidden truths that people don't really talk about, some of the negative things, and just kind of put a light on the business model, the investment model, and that you gain some clarity on it. If you're interested in this, if you're interested in getting into land investing, check out a course. It's in the description below. Otherwise, take care. Have a good one. Bye.